Something fascinating about today's artificial intelligence is how it is evolving to understand our world in much the same way as we do, through multiple senses at once.
In today's data-rich environment, AI needs to process more than just text. So just think about how we humans understand information. For example, when we pick up a book, we don't just read the title. Okay, we look at the cover art, we feel the way of the book, and maybe flip through a few pages. So we basically integrate a lot of information that would tell us what the book is about. And that's exactly what multimodal AI aims to achieve. It enables machine to perceive the world more holistically by combining different types of data, such as images and texts. So it enables them to make better and more human-like predictions. But before we dive deeper, let's first establish some foundational concepts that make all of this possible, also known as machine learning. So machine learning is the approach that allows computers to learn from examples rather than explicit programming. So instead of writing rules for every situation, we provide data and let the system work a pattern to solve it on its own. And building on top of that, we also have a concept called deep learning, which is a more sophisticated branch of machine learning. So it utilizes neural networks inspired by our brain's structure to process complex patterns from massive datasets.
Now let's talk about image classification. When processing images, deep learning is the go-to model. Until recently, CNNs or convolutional neural networks were used. These networks assume local connectivity, meaning every pixel of the image is only connected to its nearby pixels, which would finally be aggregated to classified image. Thus, it performs well on extracting local features such as edges, textures, and colors. Images are handled differently by vision transformers. Here, an image is split into 16 by 16 patches and are embedded with vectors that describe their position and other information. These vectors are concatenated and sent to a transformer encoder. Since it anchors on relating the patches across the entire image, the model is able to see the big picture instead of focusing on individual features like CNN does. AI models break down written content such as the following sentence and learns to identify patterns and vocabularies set in structure and context. This allows the AI to categorize text based on topic, sentiments, or intent.
Now we are at the heart of our presentation. What happens when we combine these different types of analysis? Multimodal classification occurs when an AI processes multiple types of input, such as text and images, simultaneously in order to create more accurate predictions. Let's consider our real-world example, predicting a book genre using both its title and cover image. Now imagine a book entitled Shadows of Tomorrow, with a cover showing a dark landscape and a glowing moon. The text alone may suggest science fiction or perhaps horror. However, the visual elements help confirm exactly science fiction. By confirming these signals, the AI can make more confident and accurate predictions. This mirrors how we naturally process information. We don't assess things through isolated channels. We integrate what we see, read, and hear in order to form comprehensive understandings. However, combining multiple data sources introduces unique challenges. One fundamental question is, how should we trust each type of information? Sometimes the text is so clear yet the image is confusing. In other cases, the image narrates full story yet the text seems like nothing. This is where fusion strategy becomes crucial. These are the methodologies for combining different data types effectively, and which is why designing a good fusion strategy, which is finding balance between inputs, is one of the toughest challenges in multimodal AI. This is because if you give too much importance on the wrong input, the AI may get confused or create silly mistakes. But if you blend them wisely, we can create systems that understand it better than ever before.
Despite these challenges, multimodal AI represents one of the most exciting frontiers in artificial intelligence today. Through combining images, text, and even other forms of data like audio or video, it can be used in order to create systems that aren't just smarter, but also more creative and more human-like.
So just imagine the possibilities, like having search engines that can understand you beyond keywords, or virtual assistants that can understand your words and expressions, or even medical AI that can analyze images, patient history, and can help in diagnosing.
The future of AI isn't about choosing one way in order to understand the world, but through looking at it in different perspectives, just like we humans do. We're moving toward a world where machines don't just process information, they comprehend context in increasingly human-like ways. And you know what the most exciting part here is? We're just